Hey world, today I am deciding, why do I always start my video with today I'm doing this, today I'm doing that? Okay. Hey world, I'm doing the Blasian tag video, okay? And I know I did the mixed girl tag video like when I first started way back with my channel, but I also been watching a lot of Blasian tag videos throughout the years because there's always new ones, right? And I always find them fun and interesting to watch. And on top of that, I always wanted to do specifically the Blasian tag video because of course I'm Blasian, why not, just works out. So I'm going to jump right into the questions. There's 6 questions, and I also want to do some culture talk with you guys, okay? So this is basically culture talk, but maybe like go a little bit more in depth, okay? Anyways, the first question is, what are you mixed with? I am mixed with Jamaican and Chinese. The second question is, were you born in that country? My answer to that is no. I was not born in Jamaica, and first of all, Jamaica is not a country. It's an island. A very well-known island where everyone wants to go and visits, okay, and eat the yummy food and hear the amazing music and the patois, which is broken English, which I am horrible at doing. But anyways, was I born in that island? No, I was not born in that island. I was born in Canada, where the winters are long and the summers are really short. But both of my parents were born in Jamaica. I'll go further into that later when we get into the culture talk part, okay? The next question is, what is your favorite food? Well, my favorite food, my favorite Jamaican food is, okay, I'm a vegetarian. I feel like I mention this all the time in this channel, but I'm a vegetarian, okay? That's just what I am, okay? So before I became a vegetarian, I have so many favorite foods. Before I became a vegetarian, I love oxtail rice and peas, or I loved it, right, since I don't eat meat anymore. I loved oxtail rice and peas. I used to love eating curry goat, curry chicken with rice and peas, stew peas and rice. That is amazing. I don't eat, at the time I didn't eat pork or pig, right? So whenever my grandma would make the the stew peas and rice, she'll use like beef instead of pork. You don't have to use pork, but I guess the traditional way is using pork or pig. She'll use beef and it tastes just as good, and the stew is nice and like thick and just flavorful and amazing. Like Jamaicans, Caribbean on a whole, we love flavor. But in my case, Jamaicans, we love flavor, okay? We love flavor because flavor is everything. It makes a food taste amazing, and you don't even want to rush to eat. You just want to take your time and eat and taste every single seasoning on your palate that's in the food. It's amazing. But yeah, stew peas and rice, okay? And you can also add like dumplings and stuff. So my grandma would add dumplings and she would like roll it horizontally and then she'll put it in the food, or you can like roll it like a regular dumpling, whatever you want. There's no rule to it. But yeah, stew peas and rice, okay, was my favorite. ackee and saltfish. I still eat ackee and saltfish now because I still eat fish at least, like salmon, snapper, bass, occasionally kingfish. But I haven't had kingfish in years. So mainly salmon, bass, and snapper fish are the top main fishes. I don't need all those other fishes. Saltfish. Jamaicans, we call it saltfish, which is codfish, okay? Oh my gosh, I have so many favorite. Yeah, so ackee and saltfish with fried dumpling. Ackee and saltfish with fried dumpling, that's really good. Those are like my top favorite dishes. And because I'm a vegetarian now, I would say, oh, pea soup. Pea soup was also my favorite dish. So it's like stew peas and rice, but without the rice, and it's just the soup, you know, obviously, right? It has the same kind of like flavor and texture and whatnot. But yeah, pea soup. Growing up, I would always call it brown soup because it's brown. And I didn't know the proper name for it, but it's brown and it tastes nice, right? So pea soup, again, you can add like dumplings and all that cool flavors. Oh my gosh, I haven't had pea soup in years. But you don't need to add meat in pea soup, but if you're a meat eater, yeah, you can do it the traditional way and add the soup and add the meat in there. So now that I'm a vegetarian, well, not now, I've been vegetarian for like 12 years, but I still love my ackee and saltfish and fried dumpling. Fried dumpling, the last time I had that was once last year. But if I were to make the fried dumpling myself, I'll make a healthier version. I can use spelt flour instead of regular flour because spelt flour is a healthier flour. Do your research. We're not getting into that right now. Then the video will be extra long, and I can feel it getting long right now. I can feel it. Okay. Vegetable soup. Jamaican style. Okay. What other vegetarian food do I like from Jamaica? There's vegan patties, vegetarian patties. But I don't eat that a lot either. I only had that once last year because of the dough. So it's still kind of, you know, unhealthy. So it's not something you eat all the time. Like I said, I eat fish, so I like fried snapper. Fish tea soup I don't like it stinks. I can go on about food forever and ever because I love food and I love to eat healthy. But anyways, those are just the top favorite dishes, okay? I can go on and on, like I said. Let's go on to the next question. When was the last time you've been to that island? So the last time I've been to Jamaica was in the 90s, okay, with my grandma. And we stayed in the country because that's where her sister and everyone was. Okay, we stayed in the country, so I never went and had a chance to like go to the beach and explore the markets and all that cool stuff. I never did that. So in my adult life, eventually I would have to go back to Jamaica and actually explore it properly, you know, because I didn't explore it properly then. I remember seeing like the kids running around in bare feet, and I'm like, oh, I want to run around in bare feet too. So I took off my shoes and I ran around barefoot in the yard, and I think we were like chasing the loose chickens. I don't remember that, but I think we were actually. I remember seeing loose chickens. So maybe we were chasing loose chickens or we were just playing. But what I do clearly remember is running around barefoot outside, and it was amazing because you can't do that in Canada. You have to wear shoes. So yeah, the last time I've been to that island was in the early 90s, okay? Number 5. Can you speak the language? If so, say a few things. Oh my gosh. Can I speak Patwa? I would sound so hilarious. Oh my gosh. You know how many times I tried speaking it and I sound so bad? And plus, growing up, my mom and my grandma didn't want me to speak it because Patwa is basically broken English. So they don't want me to be going to school speaking like that and not speaking proper English. They want me to speak proper Canadian English. But of course I still try now and then to speak it. Oh my gosh. I sound so weird. Okay, I think I'll say, okay, what should I say? You guys are gonna laugh. I'm laughing right now because I know I sound weird saying Wagwan. What I'm with you. Oh my gosh, I sound so funny. It doesn't even sound organic, you know? Oh my gosh, it sounds so weird. And I'm humiliating myself. Oh my gosh. I don't care. But yeah, wagwan, walking with you. What other words? What other words can I say? I think like wanting with you is like what's wrong with you. Like it depends, like the sentence. Like wanting with you, like what's wrong with you, or wanting. You can say that too, like wanting. It's the same thing. Wanting with you, like what's wrong with you, or you could just say wanting to just cut it in half, you know. And what other words are there? There's a lot. There's so many. That's enough. I already sound weird enough. So that's all you guys are gonna get from me, okay? And the last question, what is your hair type? I have super duper curly hair, as you can see. That's my hair type. And it shrinks up loads, so I always have to like stretch my hair, you know. And when my hair's pretty long, as you can see. Can you see that? It's pretty long. But the goal is to get really long, curly like this. So I'm thinking about trying the rice water, but I don't know. But we'll see. You know, just to speed up the growth. But yes, that is the Blasian tag. Okay. And that went by pretty fast. It was only 6 questions. Now, let's elaborate. I said that I'm Jamaican and Chinese. And I also said, and in that question, one of the questions, it said, were you born in that country, right? And I said, no, I was born in Canada, but both of my parents are born in Jamaica. Now, to clarify that, because they're like, what? But I thought you said you're mixed with Chinese. I am, okay? My mom's side is black. My dad's side is Chinese. But they're both from Jamaica, okay? Now, let's elaborate. This is where the culture talk comes in, okay? Let's elaborate now. I remember I was speaking with someone, okay? And she's from China. Of course, she knows her roots. She knows her culture, right? Because she's from like China. She didn't immigrate to Jamaica or wherever, right? So she just immigrated to Canada because this is where we spoke, and I'm in Canada, obviously. Okay, so let's break it down now. So we were talking, right? And because, okay, let me rewind. I was minding my business, doing my thing, and this lady, I know this lady, by the way, okay? I would say we're more like acquaintances, okay? But I know her. She's an older lady. And she's like, oh, I'm not going to mention my real name, okay? By the way, my real name is French, so that also throws off people. They're like, your name is French, but you're Jamaican and Chinese. That confuses them even more. And you know what? I don't care, because being different is better than blending in. Okay, anyways, I am going off track. Yeah, so me and this lady, we were talking, right? And she's like, Shanu Couture, we'll use my brand name, Shanu Couture. I heard that you're Shanu Couture. I heard that you're mixed with Chinese. I'm like, yeah, I'm mixed with Chinese. And then I explained to her my dad's side is Chinese, my mom's side is black, right? And she's like, oh, that's why you're so fair. Just to let you know, any culture that is not a white culture, they have this thing in their head that being fair or light skin is better. And that is something that's never gonna go away, because there's bleaching creams and stuff like that in the black community, the Indian community, and in the Asian community, okay? In the Asian community, and their skin is pretty close to white, right? Even though their tone is yellow undertone. But anyways, that's a whole new topic. That's just a whole new topic. But my point is, we were talking and she said what she said, and then she's like, do you know which part of China your dad's side is from? And I told her, well, both my parents are from Jamaica, but I don't know exactly like what part of China my dad's side is from, because my grandfather, he was the only one born in China. Him, obviously his dad, which is my great-grandfather, and obviously his mom, which is my great-grandmother. Unfortunately, I've never met any of them. Very sad indeed. I wish I did, but you know what? That's my life, I guess, right? But anyways, they are originally from China, and then they immigrated to Jamaica, okay? And then my grandfather has, I believe, 10 siblings, I was told, and those 10 were born in Jamaica. So they're like born in Jamaica, Chinese. My grandfather is born in China, moved to Jamaica, and grew up in Jamaica. Okay, so he had the accent, and of course his siblings have the accent. Okay, so when you're in that island or wherever you are in life period, you just adapt to that culture, you adapt to that talk, the way people talk in that country or island. It's just a part of you, that's what you know more of, right? So anyways, we were talking, I was telling her about that, and then in my head I'm like, I feel like this lady wants to see receipts, because at the same time I feel like she didn't believe me that I'm actually mixed with Chinese. So I'm like, you know what, in the back of my head I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna show this lady the receipts. Because when she asked me and I said yes that I am, you know what she said? Okay, she mentioned the whole light skin thing, whatever, and then she also mentioned, but you don't look Chinese at all, you don't look Chinese at all, right? And I'm like, okay, but I am. And then she's like, but you don't look it at all. But I'm like, but I am, you know. So that's in the back of my head, I'm thinking, you know what, I feel like she needs to see receipts, or not the fact that she needs, show like, hey, I really am mixed with Chinese. Because she also mentioned, but your hair. Then I had to mention that there's some people in my family that's mixed with Chinese, and they look like you, they look like they have no black in them, and their hair is like yours. That's what I said, which is just naturally pinned straight. That's how their hair is. Okay, with me, I came out with super duper curly hair and bigger features. That's just that. And I love how I turned out. You have to love the skin that you're in, and I love the skin that I'm in. Okay, now if I have any kids, okay, and I say kids with an S because if I do have any, it has to be more than one, because being an only child is boring. I know, like, I have siblings, but I'm the only child from my mom. Okay, so, and I'm not close with my siblings. Okay, so I know what it's like growing up as an only child, and it's lame. You end up talking to yourself a lot. You have no one to really talk to. Your mom can't relate. You're a kid, she's an adult. She can relate to a certain extent, but I mean, you know, two different generations here. Okay, so this video is going to be long. I can sense it. I like long videos, and I'm pretty sure you guys like long videos. You guys love the tea. Okay, so like I was saying, where did I leave off? Oh yeah, it's like she wanted to see the receipts, right? So I was done doing my thing for the day, and then I meet with her later, and I showed her the receipts. So she knows I really am Chinese. I'm not just black. Because she was just so adamant, like she didn't believe me. Like, I'm not one of those people who lie about their races, okay? I ain't got time for that. That's a waste of time. So I showed her the receipt, but then I also learned something. She was telling me about North China and South China, and how people in the north, I think they're taller and they look different from the people from South China. Okay, so she was looking at the pictures. I only showed her one picture. I don't need to show her a whole bunch of pictures. One is good enough, right? One receipt is good enough. So I showed her the picture, and she was observing the features, and she said it looks like they're from North China originally. Okay, before everyone immigrated to, before, you know, my great grandmother, great grandfather, and my grandpa, before they all immigrated down there and extended their family, right? She said it looks like they are originally from North China, which is Hong Kong. Okay, this woman knows her stuff. She's an older woman, and like I said, she's in touch with her Chinese culture, her roots. Okay, so there's a possibility that, yeah, my Chinese side is originally from Hong Kong. So it's good to have some kind of sense of idea where they could be from. So it's not mainland China, it's Hong Kong, roughly. Okay, and on top of that, she was telling me people that live in Hong Kong normally speak Cantonese, because the people in, I guess, mainland China, they speak Mandarin, or like the South China, they speak Mandarin, and people in Hong Kong, they speak Cantonese. And so she told me all that, so I got like a foundation, like, okay, maybe there's like a possibility, right? Like, I'm trying to connect the dots here, you know, and it makes sense to me, you know what I mean? But obviously I have to keep digging in, because I love this kind of stuff. I have to keep digging in to find out more, right? Not just the surface, to find out more. Because if I have kids, okay, they're gonna be mixed with Black, Chinese, and whatever other culture maybe. You don't know what the future holds. But they need to know their roots, because obviously they're gonna know their Jamaican roots, because that's what I was brought up around. Okay, that's what I know more of. The Chinese, a kid wouldn't know. They'll just be like, yeah, I'm Chinese, but I don't know anything. So that's why I have to make it my duty to make sure that I dig deep, because you never know what the future holds. I know I said I don't want any kids, but at the same time, you never know what the future holds, right? Okay, so like I was trying to say now, I got sidetracked. There's so much information. This topic is amazing. Where did I leave off? Oh yes, I remember where I left off now. Hong Kong. So there's a possibility that they're from Hong Kong originally, and the Chinese people in Hong Kong normally speak Cantonese. So it's good that she gave me, you know, some kind of information I can work with, right? Even though I'm not related to her, but at least I kind of got like a gist, possibly, you know, which is really good. So later, I believe that week or 2 weeks later, I was like, you know what, let me like YouTube and try and like go a little bit deeper about this. So I found a video online, and it mentioned like a lot of Chinese people from the Hong Kong area, they're the ones that move to Jamaica or Canada or, you know, South America. Like, they're the ones that immigrate out of China, right? So and then they're also known as the Hakka people, which is guest people. So basically what happens is, when, in my case, my family, they moved to Jamaica to live and to grow up there for a bit, right? Or for a good while, not a bit, okay? For a good long while. And so basically what that is, like, in my case, like I was trying to say, Chinese people that immigrated to Jamaica, they'll still keep their Chinese culture, but then they'll adapt the Jamaican culture. So if there's like some Chinese people that move to South America, for example, like Peru, for example, that's a perfect example, then those Chinese people will keep their Chinese culture but adapt the Peru culture, like the food and all that stuff, the culture, right? So basically the Chinese people that immigrate abroad are known as Hakka, also known as guest people, okay? But they still keep their culture. But at the same time, not everyone, like in my family, okay, just because they're Chinese does not mean they can speak the language. They can speak Hakka or Cantonese, okay? Because in my family, from what I know, they can't speak that language. They just speak English. They just speak Patois. They don't know how to speak Cantonese or Hakka. They don't know. But what I do know is that on my dad's side, half of the family member, okay, this is gonna sound even more confusing maybe, but half of my family on my dad's side knows the Chinese culture. They do the Chinese New Year thing and everything. And the other half of my dad's side of the family, they just stick with their Jamaican. They don't know how to celebrate Chinese New Year's. They don't know like how it goes and everything, right? So, and me, I don't really know how it goes because I grew up with my mom. Okay, I grew up with my mom, so I don't know. Like, I know like the gifs, but I don't know like deep, you know. So that's where the work comes in, and I have to like do my research and go in deep so that I know my roots properly. Like, obviously traveling and everything will be a part of this channel, so obviously I would love to go to Hong Kong and explore and like learn more and stuff like that. And obviously I'm gonna take you guys with me because why not? It's fun seeing travel videos and watching people learn their roots and their culture and all that, you know. So is there anything else I have to say? One more thing. I think there's one more thing I have to say, and then this video is a wrap. So recently, it's like, remember the lady I was telling you about, okay, that said, oh, but you don't look Chinese at all. And I told you that it feels like I have to show receipts so she believes me, you know. And anyway, so recently, so last week, so this second last week of February, okay, I saw her husband, okay, and she was like kind of hiding a bit. Like, I saw her, she always like hides now and then. Anyways, I saw her husband, and she says to her husband with excitement, do you know that she mixed Chinese? She's Chinese. She got like so excited. And I'm like, yeah, I am, because I'm that type of person where I don't volunteer and be like, oh, I mix it Chinese and black, I mix it Chinese and Jamaican, I mix it Chinese and Jamaican. I don't walk around and do that. I'm that type of person where I just keep my ethnicity, race, whatever, to myself. The only time I mention it is if someone asks me what I am, okay, and then I tell them. But if you ask me and I tell you, don't be like, but no you're not, no you're not. You asked me, I told you, so obviously I am. So don't tell me that I'm not, because that happened a few times too. But anyways, my point is I'm that type of person where I don't mention it at all. Only if someone asks, I'll mention it. Otherwise, I just don't mention it. That's how I am. Okay. But yeah, her husband goes, oh, do you know which part? Well, do you know which part of China? I'm like, I don't know which part, because my dad's side's from Jamaica. I don't know, like, further down which part. But there's a possibility they might be from Hong Kong. But I feel like it's a high chance of a possibility that they might be from there. Anyways, I have to like dig in further. But this video is extremely long. I know for a fact. But it's an interesting one. These videos are always interesting. I know. So, that's a wrap. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And you guys will see me in another video like always. And remember, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. No.